This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(8:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj, read by Sounthi Thavam. In the headlines, Indian Army Chief meets the Sri Lankan President and Prime Minister. Indian Army Chief also met Sri Lankan Army Commander and discussed many matters relating the security issues of both countries. Sri Lanka reports 513 new COVID-19 cases and 31 deaths. Advanced level students in Colombo district to receive Pfizer vaccine from Friday. Doctors emphasise the importance for the post-COVID symptomatic patients to have physical and mental rest for few days. The intellectuals say the government has carried out many relief assistance programs amid COVID challenges. The nation-saving public voice organisation urged President Gotabaya Rajapaksa to conduct a comprehensive investigation on all personnel whose names are published in the Pandora Papers. News overseas. Energy prices. EU unveils plan to ease Europe's gas crisis. In sports, Andy Murray to skip Davis Cup after defeat by Alexander Zverev at Indian Wells. India's Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Naravan met Sri Lanka's top civilian and military leadership on Wednesday and discussed steps for further enhancing the excellent defence cooperation between the two neighbouring countries. General Naravan, who arrived in Sri Lanka on Tuesday on a 4-day visit at the invitation of his Sri Lankan counterpart General Shavendra Silva, called on President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who is the Commander-in-Chief of the Sri Lankan Armed Forces, and discussed issues of mutual and strategic cooperation, the Indian Army said in a tweet. The Indian Army Chief also called on Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa at his official residence at Temple Trees this morning. Quote, between the two armed forces we have an excellent relationship, unquote, General Naravan told Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, further noting that this positive interaction will also help cement the bilateral relations between the two countries at all levels, including people-to-people connections. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa expressed his appreciation for the assistance provided by the Indian Armed Forces to Sri Lanka throughout the years, especially in the area of training, it added. General Naravan also called on Foreign Secretary Admiral Professor Jayanath Columbage and discussed issues of bilateral cooperation. Earlier, General Naravan called on the General GDH Kamal Gunaratne, retired Secretary, Ministry of Defence, and discussed steps to take forward the excellent defence cooperation between Sri Lanka and India, the Indian Army said in a tweet. He also visited the Army headquarters where he carried out turnout inspection and received a Guard of Honour. COAS complimented the Guard for impeccable turnout and parade, it said in another tweet. General Naravan met with General Shavendra Silva and discussed issues related to boosting bilateral defence cooperation between two countries. He also interacted with the senior officers of the Sri Lankan Army during the visit, the Indian Army said. General Naravan laid a wreath at Indian Peacekeeping Force IPKP War Memorial and paid tribute to the brave hearts of the Indian Army who laid down their lives during the peacekeeping operations in Sri Lanka. He also interacted with the veterans of the Sri Lanka Army. He had served in the IPKP in Sri Lanka's north and east from 1987 to 1990. His wife Veena Naravan visited Mihidu Seth Madura, a facility for disabled war heroes of the Sri Lanka Armed Forces. She interacted with inmates and inquired about their well-being. Tomorrow, General Naravan will witness the final demonstration of the ongoing bilateral exercise Mitra Shakti at Maduroya Special Forces Training School in the east. India and Sri Lanka last week began a 12-day mega military exercise with a focus on enhancing counter-terror cooperation at the Combat Training School in the island nation's eastern district of Ampara. The 8th edition of the Mitra Shakti exercise from October 4th to 15th got underway with the participation of an all-arms contingent of 120 Indian Army personnel headed by Colonel Prakash Kumar. The joint military exercise has been designed to enhance understanding of transnational terrorism, interoperability skills, conduct of joint tactical operations, sharing of each other's best practices and experiences, the Sri Lanka Army said. Meanwhile, the Indian Army Chief also met Sri Lankan Army Commander General Shavindra Silva and discussed many matters relating the security issues of both countries. The Indian Army Chief was given a guard of honour at the Army headquarters. The Indian Army Chief laid a floral tribute at the Indian Peacekeeping Force monument built at Sri Javadapura Kotte. The Ministry of Education says that a pilot project to administer the Pfizer vaccine to the students sitting for the GCE Advanced Level examination this year within the Colombo district will commence on October 15th. Accordingly, the students who are sitting Advanced Level examination for the first time and second time this year will be vaccinated within all educational zones in the district. The Education Ministry and the Health Ministry have planned to provide students in the age group of 18 to 19 with the first dose of the Pfizer vaccine at schools on October 21st. As the pilot project of this, the program is to commence on Friday, October 15th from the Colombo district. Additional Secretary of the Education Ministry, LMD Dharmasena, stated that students should participate in the vaccination program with their identity cards. The vaccine can be obtained at the following locations: Homagama Zonal Education Office, Colombo Zonal Education Office, Sri Javadapura Kotte Zonal Education Office, Piliandala Zonal Education Office. The nation-saving public voice organisation urged President Gotabaya Rajapaksa to conduct a comprehensive investigation on all personnel whose names are published in the Pandora Papers. If they found to be guilty, they should be prosecuted according to the law of this land, the organisation added. The issuance of revenue licences in the Western Province will recommence its operations after a few weeks due to corona pandemic situation. The revenue licences can be obtained for all vehicles except for motorcycles and three-wheelers. The vehicle owners can obtain these licences after 15th of this month. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Get a personal loan for your marriage, education or housing within 24 hours with People's Bank Digital Banking.
The Ministry of Health has reported another 513 persons have tested positive for the novel coronavirus. This brings the total number of COVID-19 cases registered in the country thus far to 528,248. Presently, approximately 23,602 infected patients are being treated across the island, while total recoveries are at 491,238. Meanwhile, the Director General of Health Services has confirmed another 31 COVID-19 related deaths for October 12, increasing the death toll in the country due to the virus to 13,408. According to figures released by the Government Information Department, the deaths reported today include 20 males and 11 females. 8 of the victims are aged between 30 to 59, while the other 23 victims are aged 60 years and above. Police media spokesman SSP Nihal Taldua says the cash award scheme is still available amidst corona pandemic situation. The cash awards will be presented to the deserved policemen and public. Senior lecturer of the Economic Faculty of University of Colombo, Dr. Priyanga Dunusingha says the government has carried out many relief assistance programs amidst COVID challenges. The government has provided the maximum possible relief for the people who face immense difficulties in their day-to-day life. The COVID-19 pandemic has severely affected the socio-economic sectors of the world countries. That's local news.
Get a personal loan for your marriage, education or housing within 24 hours with People's Bank Digital Banking. People's Bank Digital Banking, your ultimate convenience.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vedha Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedha Mahatmya.
Indian Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Naravan met Sri Lanka's top civilian and military leadership on Wednesday and discussed steps for further enhancing the excellent defence cooperation between the two neighbouring countries. General Narayan, who arrived in Sri Lanka yesterday on a 4-day visit, at the invitation of his Sri Lankan counterpart General Shavindra Silva, called on President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who is the Commander-in-Chief of the Sri Lanka Armed Forces, and discussed issues of mutual and strategic cooperation, the Indian Army said in a tweet. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watchlight.
Specialist Dr. Varuna Gunatilaka says it is important for the post-COVID symptomatic patients to have physical and mental rest for few days. The patient shows symptoms even after 4 weeks of COVID infection and should take this precaution, the doctor added. Dr. Varuna Gunatilaka made these remarks while addressing a media conference held this morning at Health Promotion Bureau. He also advised such patients not to spend much on unnecessary medicines and medications for this purpose and came to you in Watchlight.
World News.
Energy prices, EU unveils plan to ease Europe's gas crisis. India, man jailed for killing wife with cobra in Kerala. China, teenager apologizes for impersonating boy to join band. The European Commission has announced a package of measures to alleviate an energy price surge that has sent bills skyrocketing across Europe. The approval of tax cuts and joint purchase of fuel by the EU members were among the proposals put forward. Energy prices have hit record highs for various reasons, including high demand for natural gas as economies recover from the COVID-19 pandemic. The European Commission has been under pressure to act on the price crunch. An Indian man who was convicted for killing his wife by making a cobra bite her has been punished with a rare double life sentence. Suraj Kumar was arrested last year after his wife Uttara died from a snake bite. Police began investigating after her family alleged murder, saying Suraj had been harassing them for dowry. On Monday, a court found him guilty of releasing a cobra onto the bed while Uttara slept. A young girl in China has apologized for deceiving fans after trying to join a boy band. Fu Jiayuan, 13, said she lied about her gender to a popular management company because she was young and ignorant. Even though she was only part of YGN Youth Club's boot camp and not an official band member, fans could watch her training videos on social media. Many YGN Youth Club fans were amused by the revelation and said it was not a big deal. Back to the headlines of the world news. Energy prices, EU unveils plan to ease Europe's gas crisis. India, man jailed for killing wife with cobra in Kerala. And China, teenager apologizes for impersonating boy to join band. That concludes this bulletin of world news.
And now in development news.
State Minister Sisira Jayakodis says a sum of 48 million rupees has been set aside for the development activities of Kalaniya Divisional Secretariat area, out of which 46 million rupees has been allocated for economic, infrastructure, religious, education and social development projects and came to you in development news.
Sports news.
In tennis, Andy Murray plans to skip next month's Davis Cup finals because he is not sure he deserves to play in that team. Murray, 34, was knocked out of the Indian Wells Masters in the third round on Tuesday night in a 6-4, 7-6, 7-4 defeat by Alexander Zverev. He won 11 points out of a possible 12 to help Great Britain win the Davis Cup for the first time in 79 years in 2015. Quote, "I've given a lot to the Davis Cup and sometimes to my own detriment physically," unquote, he told BBC Sport. That's sports news. Business news up next.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022, remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Expac Corrugated Cartons Limited is seeking to raise rupees 700 million by way of IPO to expand its production capacity. The proceeds of the IPO will be used to fund the purchase of a new plant and machinery which will be operational within a year and go on to be fully operational by 2024. Subscription will open on October 22, 2021 and the share is expected to begin trading in the second week of November. That's business news, economic news to follow.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic News, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, with a view to build a dependable, pragmatic and advantageous relationship and to establish friendly and cordial relations between Sri Lanka and Brazil, signed a Memorandum of Understanding MOU with the Sao Paulo Chamber of Commerce recently. The historic MOU was signed virtually by Manjula De Silva, Chief Executive Officer of the Ceylon Chamber, and Ricardo Curie, Senior Representative of the Sao Paulo Chamber of Commerce, witnessed by Sumit Dasanayake, newly appointed Ambassador for Sri Lanka in Brazil. That's economic news.
Weather report.
The Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in western, Sabragamo, central and northwestern provinces and in Galle and Matara districts. Wind speed can be increased up to 50 to 60 km per hour at times in the western slope of Central Hills, northern, north-central, northwestern and southern provinces and in Trincomalee district. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com reports that the day's weather was observed to be bright with occasional showers. Today's daytime temperature would be around 30 degrees Celsius. There will light showers in many places in Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 27 degrees Celsius and there will be scattered showers in selected spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 27 degrees Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index AQI is 15, which show fair condition in Colombo. The air quality is generally acceptable for most individuals. To conclude this bulletin of news, the headlines again. The Indian Army Chief meets the Sri Lankan President and Prime Minister. The Indian Army Chief also met Sri Lanka Army Commander and discussed many matters relating the security issues of both countries. Sri Lanka reports 530 new COVID-19 cases and 31 deaths. Advanced level students in Colombo district to receive Pfizer vaccine from Friday. Doctors emphasized the importance for the post-COVID symptomatic patients to have physical and mental rest for few days. The intellectuals say the government has carried out many relief assistance programs amid COVID challenges. The nation-saving public voice organization urged President Gotabaya Rajapaksa to conduct a comprehensive investigation on all personnel whose names are published in the Pandora Papers. News overseas, energy prices, EU unveils plan to ease Europe's gas crisis. In sports, Andy Murray to skip Davis Cup after defeat by Alexander Zverev at Indian Wells. That concludes tonight's news broadcast.